Winding the clock back some 26 years, I was on the staff of a large church in the UK. And as a staff team, we met together for business, for social, formal and informal gatherings, for prayer, and what affectionately became known as Staff Splurge, which was touching base with each other with what God was doing in our lives and encouraging each other and holding some accountability in terms of us staying on track with our own growth in discipleship. And after we'd been there for a couple of years and the church mushroomed in size, the penny dropped one day, and I began to realise that a key part of that was the quality of relationships that the staff team had, and that God was blessing that and providing a healthy family within the church where people could grow in faith. So I've carried that with me for 26 years now. So one of the things that I'm exploring at the moment in New Zealand, and particularly in the Wellington region, is working with key leaders of Messy Church teams, because it has to begin with us. And it's about us being living examples of living and walking with Jesus and doing the things that he called his disciples to. And as I look at the Gospels and I see that Jesus worked with small groups and some one-on-one to disciple the disciples, and then call them to multiply and go forth and take what they had learned and allow it to cascade out. So there's a group of 8 of us at the moment in the Wellington region doing life together. And we meet fortnightly, either via Skype or overnighters and retreats. And we use the 3DM material, 3-dimensional ministries material, as tools to facilitate intentional conversation. And it's beginning to flourish. And what's exciting is that these 8 leaders, the group that we are, is starting to cascade out into their families. It's also beginning to cascade out into their Messy Church teams in their own context. So instead of the team meetings being predominantly focused on the event, what are we doing and who's doing what and how are we going to make it work and who's buying the sellotape and who's getting the glitter, the Messy Church huddle are beginning to huddle with their own teams and do life together with their own teams, out of which the event flows. So we're beginning to recognise that it's easy to focus on an event, a service, an occasion, in order to try and build a movement and build growth. But actually, if that is going to be sustained, then there has to be attention to discipleship and leadership. So what I'm about is creating opportunities and forums where we do life together as Messy Church leaders and teams, and that life cascades out, that is growing discipleship and leadership even amongst the Messy Church leaders, that is really taking them by surprise.